Be honest. Have you ever felt close to God, and then suddenly, you don't? No clear reason, no big mistake, just distance. And that's what makes it confusing. Because if something was real, how does it just fade? Did something change? Did you change? Or was it never what you thought it was? Don't answer quickly, because most people rush past this and never actually understand it.
This happens more often than people admit. You have a moment where everything feels clear. You feel focused. You feel connected. You feel certain. And in that moment, you think, this is it. But then, time passes. Life gets busy. Your attention shifts. And slowly, or sometimes suddenly, that clarity fades. And you're left wondering, what happened? Was it real? Or just a moment?
Here's where people get stuck. They don't understand the shift, so they start guessing. They assume, I must have done something wrong, or I lost something, or worse, it wasn't real to begin with. But what if none of those are accurate? What if the problem is not what you think? Stay with this, because once you understand this part, everything starts to make sense.
Let's slow this down. Feeling close to God and being close to God are not always the same thing. Feelings are real, but they are not stable. They rise, they fall, they respond to your environment, they respond to your attention, they respond to your state of mind, but reality does not shift that quickly. So if your understanding is built on feeling, then your sense of closeness will always feel unstable. Are you measuring something real or something temporary? Here's something most people miss. Distance is not always separation. Sometimes it's just lack of awareness. Think about it. When your attention is clear, everything feels aligned, but when your attention is scattered, everything feels distant. Not because it is, but because you're not present. Where has your attention been?
Pause for a moment. Don't just listen. Answer this. What has had your attention lately? Not what you say matters. What actually holds your focus? Because attention shapes awareness, and awareness shapes what you feel.
Distraction is not always obvious. It's not always something dramatic. It's small things, repeated things, constant noise. And over time, those small shifts in attention create a big shift in awareness. So what once felt clear now feels distant, not because it moved, but because you did. What pulled you away slowly? Most people rely on moments, strong moments, emotional moments, moments where everything feels right. But moments are not the foundation. Consistency is, because moments fade, but consistency builds depth. And when consistency is missing, you start depending on feelings again, and that cycle repeats.
This is where people get discouraged. Because when the feeling fades, they assume something is wrong, so they stop, they pull back, they disconnect. When in reality, this is where steadiness matters most. Not intensity, not emotion. Steadiness. Do you stop when it doesn't feel the same? Closeness is not just something you feel. It's something you practice in small ways, quiet ways, consistent ways, and over time. Those small actions build something deeper than any single moment ever could.
So now we return to the question, why did it feel real and then fade? Because feeling was never meant to be the foundation. And when it becomes the foundation, everything feels unstable. Before you leave, don't answer quickly. Think, reflect, be honest. Because this is not about a moment, it's about understanding what's actually happening.
If this made you stop and think, don't just move on. Take a moment and be honest. What changed for you while watching this? Not a perfect answer, just a real one. Write it in the comments.